Hey YouTube, I am just checking in. I went through, I thought, I'll go into detail actually because I can. This is my documentary. Um, so lately I have been focused on, I heard Earl Nightingale, he said that service and rewards are measured on an apothecary scale. Which I'll show you guys like this, right? The scale that like does this, but it's like you hold it up in the air. It's the one on the Metallica signs, everything like that. But it's like if something is heavier, because it's not just a regular scale that has a base, it's something that's held up. So then if it tilts too much, everything falls off the other plate. So like that's how it is. That's why I went in the detail on the differences. But if you have services and rewards on one of the sides, and say like normal people in real life, they don't serve other people, they serve themselves, but then they think they're serving other people. And the problem with that is, if you were serving other people, you would, like a lunch lady, you would be giving to them, right? You wouldn't just be getting along with them. There's a difference. So serving other people by putting something more into the world that you got out of it, by creating something, we're these, God says he built us in his image, and in his image he's a creator. So his image, we think of him, he's a creator. God made us. The only difference between us and animals is our thoughts and consciousness to be able to make decisions, and then for us to make things. Why do you think tools, right? The stuff we use every day, we create things. We do things that no other animal on the planet can do, because we do have special abilities, but not in the same areas. We have the one that matters, which is the same one God has. That's why he says that he lives in us by the Holy Spirit. But so I've been really focused on service because of all that stuff in the Bible and everything like that. And I've been doing a lot of research on not just the Bible and everything like that, but just this part of everything, right? Because I have learned and learned, and then I felt like this was the time to learn about the end step, because I didn't understand it as well as some other people understood it a little better than me, um, in a different way, and that's okay. And I had to come around to understand this fully, and I think God did this on purpose, my whole life. So I'm very proud to say that I'm in that position now, and that I had to go through those positions before for him to show me exactly what it is that he had for me. But I'm very appreciative and grateful for everything that he has done. Has always been in my favor. So, very grateful and love to show my. See, this is the part of serving other people in rewards, right? So it's not that I'm serving people as a thing, as in like doing something like this marketing thing. It's not that I just want to have this marketing thing, but I want to give people that type of inspiration for their businesses, that like God gave me the inspiration for these people, right? Because it's just that, and I feel like a lot of people, once they maybe get like that boost from me in their businesses, maybe they get to that position to where they can find that boost within themselves and God as well. Because I feel like those boosts are really the boost between a financially free business and a worry-free person. I think that there is so much on this earth that we should all be abundant. It's not a bad thing. I think that everyone deserves it in whatever you value, right? That is the number one part. we've been taught our whole lives that saying that money is bad and money is evil. Um, so it's bad for us to talk about it, but then we can talk about things nowadays that when we were younger, uh, you weren't allowed to talk about also. So it's like, why out of all those things are okay to talk about, but this is not, like say like pornography or sex and stuff like that. You weren't allowed to talk about those early in your life. It was a bad thing, right? Now you come here later on and you think about those. We talk about sex and pornography and have TikTok and Instagram and all of that stuff. It's all over the place, and it's free, and we consume it. So it's like, why not? The money part, we like stay away from it. We like think that we have it under control, but then we are scared to utilize it. And that's the number one thing, is the intentions behind it. So me and money, I call it currency now, but me and currency, we're friends. Like, I don't see him as like someone that's gonna hurt me, like or damage my life in any way, right? I would like, when I think of my friends, I'm like, look, we get along, you know. Sometimes I need him, sometimes he needs me, but together we're working together and we're a team and we're both going in the same direction. We're positive, right? So I would never associate anything with negativity with it, or else you'll never have it. Like, if you was mean to someone and you were negative every time they came around, they wouldn't want to be around you, right? I think money's the same way. I think that it is the same way for that stuff. That's one part of it. But then also another part of it was the serving part, because, and your intentions behind serving. Like, a lot of people, I think, would be like, oh, I did my service work. I time card, boom, service work, time card, boom. I think those will help. I think the more of those, the more you actually get into getting in the idea of it, and that's always good for people to learn. But that means that you're just making up the debt of what you put out or someone you put out before you had. So any negativity that they had, you had to kind of put it out by paying your debts, right? So sometimes it takes longer for people to understand it and learn it completely. My wish is that they would learn it efficiently and effective, that they would be able to teach it to other people at some point, right? I would hope that. But those are the people that I need to serve, because not everyone understands that there's still a chance that they can live their lives. And when they talk about heaven, this is heaven. This is heaven. Here on earth, we are creators. We make things. We can make it any way we want in our life. And people refuse to believe that that's a real thing that we can do. That like having a fancy and happy life is something that you see other people do, and that's just not for me. It's like, no, there's so much on this earth that we should all be able to do that healthy, right? Like, not even like the negativity that is involved with it, but I'm sure like over time we'd be able to get there. I think people are waking up and they're finally getting the gist of it, but I think that we're like neutral right now. But I think with the internet and how fast influence is nowadays, it could turn either way super quick, and that's just something that I have no control over. But I do know that I will be contributing to my positive energy, which is all of the good things, and having people learn about themselves to be able to love themselves properly is my purpose. I put people on their purpose as my purpose, and I think a lot of that I can do through opening a marketing business. I think that, I know how to sell things, but then I need to learn how to reach people, and not just reach people to get like money from them, but to reach people to serve more people, because I can't serve people if I'm not reaching out to them. I always thought, I had this kind of negative thought during the beginning of the year is I will only help people that ask for it, because I'm sick and tired of me giving it to people and then it's draining my energy, right? I felt like it was taking away from what I could provide. And that is a selfish way of doing things, because at work, I'm a salesman. Salesmen will go and you say no or something, and then they'll like try to say something else to get around it, right? And it's like, why not work hard at trying to prepare yourself to be able to reach out to those people? Because it's like blowing a trumpet, like alarming your people, about all this stuff. But alarming is like, I'm alarming you guys that it's possible, that everyone can do it, and that it's not as hard as people make it seem like. If you remove all the negativity out of that stuff, it's just as easy as saying it's done. And I know people say, "Oh, that's easier said than done." It's always, I don't know, it's always some type of excuse. And I was this person. That's how I know exactly what it is, but some type of excuse, because there's a certain type of insecurity. Because there's a certain type of insecurity for yourself, thinking, I didn't do my complete best on that, so I want to like put it out there like that. When you're not doing the best for yourself. When you're not doing the best for other people. You feel that consciously every day of your life, and you choose to pick yourself. I have done this so many times, but the problem is that we don't realize that we're not picking ourselves the right way, because we're picking ourselves the negative way. And if we picked on ourselves the right way, which is what you're supposed to do, mind you, you're supposed to learn how to love yourself properly before you speak to the people. And I think that is 100% facts. But the way that we've been taught is to think about ourselves, but then not to think about ourselves, because it's selfish, right? So your attention's on yourself, but then your thoughts are on other people. It doesn't go together. You have to have both intentionally in the same place at the same time for them both to work together. Humans, you can only do one thing at a time. Like, you do something and you get it done. You can't do this and that and both get them done 100% at the same time. There's no way to do that. Obviously with certain things, but as in, say you're washing the dishes, you can't wash the dishes and mop at the same time and get them both started and finished at the same time, unless you have help, right? If you build up a network, you can have help while you're doing things. That is, if you serve enough people, God will give you people that will serve you. You're not promised anything in this life. You're not promised a wife or a husband or kids. You're not promised work, a job, food. Like, first of all, work and a job stuff, it's just, that's new. But promised food or survival, you're not promised. But the way they make it for us here in this country now is, it's pretty much promised to anyone that has a job and has a house. If you're homeless, yeah, you would struggle with that. And that is unbearably hard, I can guarantee it. It's hard to get out of that position. But you still have something to be grateful for if you're alive right now. So all of that negative baggage, people carry, and I always told myself, yeah, I don't carry negative baggage, but then like I literally was carrying like the empty bags that like I thought I wasn't carrying. And it's like, bags, if you ever seen one of those runners with like the bags tied to his back and then like he's running and it's like pulling him back like a kite, bags will grab traction just as much as heavy bags will drag. The problem with the bags that are heavy is, the good thing about it is you can drop them off real fast and easy because they're so heavy. I think that everyone has the potential to be able to drop their bags off, and that it shouldn't be a hard thing to do. And that once you just cut that tie, you will be a completely different person. It's like going to the gym and getting fit. Then you feel like, wow, I just hit my goal and I am happy about it. And I feel good. I'm healthy. I look good. You know, you consciously know in your brain when you feel good about something you've accomplished. And you will feel that way every time you cut those bags off and you find out that from here on out, you're going to be positive about everything. You're never going to be, and I don't even like saying this word. I've only said it because I'm making a video and it'd be hard to tell this video fast without saying the word, but negative, or BAD. I took both of those words out of my vocabulary. I don't say them. If I describe something, I say that's not good, or that's not positive, you know, because it has a different wavelength behind it when you say it about certain things that someone else would describe as the opposite way. Because if those words are the first things that come to your mind, it's probably because you're always thinking in those ways. I think once you hit that mark where like you don't associate with it, you can say it because it doesn't bother you anymore, but you don't associate with it, so it's just like detached. It doesn't have the same meaning. It's like that's non-existent for me because I don't know what it is, you know? I only know this way. So yeah. I think that everyone has the potential to do all of that. I don't think that that is something a lot of people, I think, would be like, you know, being abundant and rich is all wealth and everything like that. You can have it all. That's okay. That's the problem, is everyone says you can't have both of them. You can't be happy, or you can be happy without it. You can be happy with it, you know? Like, why wouldn't you want to be happy with it if you can supply to people that don't have stuff, you know? It's not greed if you use it as a tool. It's never been seen as that way. And we call it money here. And money, the definition of money is to warn, and currency is to flow. If you're greedy, you're going to hold on to it and you value the money. But if it's currency to you, this is another word. I took money out of my vocabulary because if it's currency to you, it will flow through you. So the faster it comes to you and the faster you push it out, the faster it comes back. You're like a ocean. You're a current. You just push it. And I think that once you look, I am so happy and grateful now that currency comes to me in many ways, from different sources, increasing values at the same time. See, I was confused because I tried to change that currency word, but I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I can say it without thinking about it if I say the word money, but I'm trying to change it over to currency. So you see how, like, even just accepting the thought of it is still, even for someone like me, hard to do. So I think once you guys get this done and you start doing it, it'll work. And everyone that says, I've been asked a lot lately about meditating. Everyone says it too. It's so crazy. I always get asked when I say, yeah, meditate, because it's something I'm proud of, because it's like, oh man, I get to meditate later today too. Like, fuck yeah. Not the bad way. But meditate, because it's like, if someone talks about going to church, you would think like they're like, oh, they're a churchy person, they're happy and excited about it. But what if I told you that you can have a conversation with God all by just talking with him by yourself. You know, people sit there and pray, but then they're telling God instead of talking with God. God doesn't just talk to anyone. He talks to the people that are accepting for him to talk to. If you don't speak the same language and you don't press answer on your phone call, it's never going to be able to speak to you. You know, God is the God of the universe. He created everything. He is everything. He's in us, through us, with us, and above us. I think a lot of people think God is like above us and he's not in us, right? And the problem with he's not in us means that you will never be like him. Everything is made out of something that everything is made out of, you know? So we have things living in us in the smallest scale that we don't even think about. Now, just like this planet has us living on it, that it doesn't think about us. And guess what? The Earth is 14 billion years old. It's an old thing. Guess what? There's things older than that too. But all of it is, well, one thing, humans, they always say, we wouldn't be able to live without water, right? No other planet. And we're so, yeah, we understand that. Yeah, we understand that. But we're not grateful to think that if you ever seen the way water is and how you can manipulate it and how easily influenced it is, and how it can change really fast, right? You think about the weather, that's all water. That's like literally everything is water. We're made from water. We're 70% water. This earth, you know, I just talked about this earth holding us as creatures. This earth is 70% water. Isn't that a crazy correlation? Now, we're all contributing to it. This earth is heaven, bro. That is why we're here. We are supposed to give to other people, and while we give to other people and we figure out, like these conversations with God and my manifesting and my meditating and everything, it's like I already know where I'm going to be after I'm done here. And it's like mapping out a room before you get to the door, you know? So I went in there first. I mapped it out, even though there's no map, by the way, it's empty. I mapped it out, and then I came to the end part of my life. I opened that door, and I already knew how to explore it and actually appreciate it properly, right? Then you live forever because you know how to move places. We're spiritual beings living in physical bodies. So this is a cool place to be, yes. But everything here is in preparation for us to get to that space where we can just jump on that train out there. Most people don't see that their whole lives. If you think about it, there's positive energy and negative energy, right? There's two sides of everything. It's polarity, but really they're the same, just opposite in temperatures, right? If you think that you're going to live here on this planet and be uncontributive to your neighbors, which is love thy neighbor, right? In the Bible, every religion teaches the same thing. Love your neighbor. Literally, you could look up every religion. The one thing that they share in common is love your neighbor. And that is the number one thing that we don't do. So how do we love our neighbors? By serving our neighbors, by teaching our neighbors, by loving our neighbors, right? And that would be by doing things for them without thinking about it, right? You're serving other people. Most people don't do that, like I said earlier in the video. So you would never be able to experience that part of love until you do that. And you will never be able to do that unless you do it for yourself. And that is okay. We all start somewhere. I've seen people do it faster than I did it. I don't complain about it. I am so happy and grateful that people do it faster than me, because if people took as long as it took me to understand it, then they would be 23 years behind, right? So I hope that everyone would be able to do it. Some people it might take longer. I think 2 years tops. It's like you would learn everything that you needed to for an apprenticeship in about 4 years, and at a community college in about 2 years, right? If you put your head down and focused for 2 years, you could get it done. But without a doubt, there is no reason why you shouldn't. If you were consecutive, like, think about it, in an apprenticeship, you have to still show up to work, and you still have to work consecutively. At a point, you will be able to rewire your brain to have it as a habit, to where you're just doing it. So there's no reason why you shouldn't in at least 4 years. And then you could have everything you want in your life. Every single thing that you could ever imagine for the rest of your life, you'd be able to do. Sorry about that. But think about it. We're not promised 4 years. So do you want to take your time and do it for 4 years? Or do you want to think, I don't even know if I have another day, you know? Let me try to learn this as fast as I can, because I want to be able to do that before I leave here, right? And once you get to that, you'll be able to fully love others. And I think that, you know, relationships, I think they're difficult to understand. I think that they are, everyone should love everyone. I love everyone the same way, but like, the physical stuff is the part that's confusing to me. I do understand it, but I think you have to connect on a spiritual part for the physical stuff to work properly. If you're not, then I don't think that you're in a relationship. You're just in an agreement. I just think it's completely different. If you're not there spiritually with someone, then I don't think that you could ever love them properly. So, but people do it, and, you know, it's okay, because you learn a lot from other people by being around them. I just pray and hope that the person you're around is doing something positive for you so that you can grow. If you're with someone and they're not allowing you to grow, or they're like feeling like they're keeping you back from growth, then we have a problem, and it's not okay, and it's not going to change. And the problem with most people, we like to think that it's going to change. You know, I have dealt with the same stuff for so many years, and I think it's going to change, but I know it's not. You know, it's like saying, oh, I'm excited for this, but I know it's not going to happen. It's probably not. So sometimes making a decision can either boost something to happen, or boost something with yourself to happen. You ever seen someone go through a breakup and then they always boom out of nowhere, and now they're doing crazy things? That's okay. As long as you're not negative about the way that you feel, then you should have no problem being happy with the progress in your life. And you should be happy for them as well. Like I said, we learn things from people we meet. And if you don't connect spiritually with them, then you can't connect physically. So, and then there's other things. You have financial, emotional, mental. I don't know. I think I said them all. I'll talk about that in a different video, but I just wanted to update you guys and say that stuff. It's been heavy on my heart. It's close to the end of the year. It's actually Christmas, so that is a good Christmas video. I have been focused on this marketing website. I'm going to get it done before the end of the year. And I am going to try to get my first client before the end of the year through the marketing name so I can have something under the portfolio belt. And I want it to be a service that costs money, besides the ones I do that don't cost money, because I'm going to do so many different services that don't cost money, and I already have for people that I know and love. So I've never done it fully properly for myself, and that's why I had this conversation before I had this conversation with you guys or myself later on. Is this gonna be the one that I focus on? Because of that one thing at a time I was telling you guys, and I said, I better, because I spent so much time doing it. So, that's kind of funny joke I told myself, but that's really how I felt. Like I have like no doubt in my mind that it's going to be, because I finally realized that once you focus on one thing, you can do it. And that I answer for one person, and that one person is always that person I am faithful to, which is the universe of everything, the God of everything, is never lying. Just like gravity. There's laws to the universe. Newton's laws. You know how many other laws there are that we don't know? Crazy. But guess what? One of the laws is that the universe doesn't lie. Everything that happens is true. Just like God, everything that he says is true. So everything that he spoke into creating when he created the universe, which is sound, by the way, when you speak, it's sound. So everything is connected through vibrations, and atoms are moving. And that means that everything is connected through sound, that we're all sound. So just like water and sound, you ever seen how that gets manipulated? We are sound. The music we listen to, the people we talk to, what we listen to on the TV, TikTok, what we see through our eyes, but most of it is listen. Yeah. And then what you tell yourself. If you tell yourself, when you talk to yourself, if you tell yourself these things that are negative and all that stuff that they're pumping into you, that's pretty tough. We got a long ways to work, but that's okay. Let's just get started now. So, anyways, I love you guys. I'm going to meditate. Have a good night. Merry Christmas. I am so happy and grateful for everything that I have done this year, and I am so happy and grateful for everything that I am going to do. I am so happy and grateful for the people that do watch these videos, because I do know that maybe they will get something out of it. And for someone that is watching this and got something out of it, leave a comment. I have been hearing more comments through people I know in person about how they see what I am doing. And it's not what I'm doing. It's what I am, currency, right? What I'm flowing. Because I get it and then I give it. Because I want everyone to have it. My friends, when I talk to them and teach them, I don't teach them this stuff in the beginning because I want them to learn the process. I say, look, this is what I'm learning right now, but this is what you learn, what I started learning when I was in your position at that part too. So it's like, here's this now, be prepared for it, because we can practice it, because I still want people to talk to about this stuff. It's not that you can't just jump to the end. I would hope someone could jump to the end. That is awesome. I taught someone that I dated, and I knew she was a genius, how, like, most of the stuff that I learned, and I don't know if she jumped to the end or not. I don't know, because I can't see, but I am confident that she will. And that is amazing, because you know how many other people she can teach now that she is one of those people that be able to jump to the end? It's amazing. Imagine. And guess what? At the end of your life, would you rather say that you only did it to people that asked you for it or people that you gave it to? And that is what I'm going to end this with. Have a good night. Like I said, take care, stay safe. It's cold outside. Be careful driving. So, peace.